The Word of Life, August 2019. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. From Luke chapter 12, verse 34. Our heart represents what is deepest, hidden, and vital to our life. It represents our treasure, what is most value and gives us security for today and for the future. Our heart also represents our values, the root of our concrete choices. It is a secret place where what is at stake is the meaning of life. What truly comes first for us? What is our treasure that we are ready to leave everything else to find? In Western-style consumer societies, everything urges us to accumulate material goods, to concentrate on our own needs and not bother about the needs of others. It happens for the sake of individual well-being and efficiency. Yet, St. Luke, who wrote his gospel in a very different cultural context, already quotes these words of Jesus as a decisive and universal teaching for men and women of all times and all places. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Luke's gospel strongly emphasizes the need for radical, definitive, and characteristic choice on the part of Jesus' disciples. God the Father is a true good who must occupy a Christian's whole heart, following the example of Jesus himself. This exclusive choice brings with it trusting abandonment to God's love and a chance of becoming truly rich, because they are children of God and heirs to His kingdom. It is a question of freedom, which means not letting ourselves be possessed by material goods, but really having control over them. Material wealth, in fact, can occupy our heart and generate a growing anxiety to possess more, which can become real dependence. Instead, almsgiving, to which we are exhorted in this passage of the Gospel, is a matter of justice, dictated by mercy, which lightens the heart and opens us up to fraternal equality. Every Christian personally and the whole community of believers can experience true freedom through sharing both material and spiritual goods with those who need them. This is a Christian lifestyle that bears witness to real trust in the Father and lays solid foundations for the civilization of love. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. To free us from the slavery of having, Chiara Lubick made an enlightening suggestion. Why does Jesus insist so much on detachment from goods to the point of making it an indispensable condition for being able to follow Him? Because the first treasure of our life, a real wealth, is Him. He wants us to be free with our souls unburdened by any attachment or worry, so that we can truly love Him with all our heart, mind, and strength. He asks us to renounce our possessions also, because He wants us to be open to others. The simplest way to renounce is to give. We can give to God by loving Him. We can show our love by loving our brothers and sisters, being ready to stake everything for them. Even if it does not seem so to us, we have much wealth to share. We have love in our hearts to give, friendliness to express, and joy to communicate. We have time to make available, prayers to offer, inner riches to share. Sometimes we have things, books, clothes, vehicles, money. Let's give them without too much reasoning. But this might be useful on such and such an occasion. Everything can be useful, but in the meantime, by giving in to these ideas, many attachments creep into our hearts and new needs are always created. No, let's try to keep only what we need. Let's be careful not to lose Jesus because of some money we have set aside, because of something we can do without. Marisa and Agostino have been married for 34 years, told us their experience. After 8 years of marriage, everything was going well for us. The house and our jobs were just as we wanted them. But then, we were asked whether we could move from Italy to a Latin American country to support a young Christian community. Among the 1,000 different voices of concern about an unknown future and those people who told us we were crazy, we heard one voice in particular that gave us a great peace. It was Jesus who was saying, "Come, follow me." So we did. We found ourselves in a completely different environment from what we were used to. Although we had much less than we had before, we felt that we received many other things in exchange, such as wonderful relationships with many people. The experience of God's providence was also very strong. One evening, we had organized a small party and each family was going to bring typical dishes for the meal. We had just returned from Italy with a big piece of Parmesan cheese. We felt torn between wanting to share a part of it with the other families and the thought that we would soon be without it again. But we remembered Jesus' words, "Give, and it will be given to you." We looked at each other and said, "We've left our country, our jobs, and our relatives, and now we are attaching ourselves to a piece of cheese?" So we cut a lump of cheese and took it with us. 2 days later, the doorbell rang. It was a tourist that we didn't know, a friend of some friends of ours, and he gave us a package from them. We opened it and found a big piece of Parmesan cheese. Jesus' promise, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap, is really true. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.